CARE was founded after 9/11 because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access to our civil liberties.
Some people did something, said a freshman congresswoman from Minnesota, to support and justify the creation of CARE. Today I am here to respond to you exactly who did what to whom.
Let's take a look at some of the gentlelady's comments. In February of 2019, barely more than a month after becoming a member of this body, Representative Omar suggested that the Jewish people and the American Israel Public Affairs Committee were buying political support, writing on Twitter, "It's all about the Benjamins, baby," clearly amplifying an anti-Semitic stereotype about the Jewish people and money. In response, congressional Democratic leadership, her own party, immediately released a statement by saying anti-Semitism must be called out, confronted, and condemned wherever it is encountered without exception. Not long after Representative Omar trivialized the terrorist attacks of September 11th, 2001, by describing that day of infamy as "some people did something." That's horrific.
That is unacceptable. And as a New York representative, to hear the representative belittle, to try to diminish the worst terrorist attack on United States soil on September 11, 2001, as "some people did something," that is unacceptable.
On that day, 19 Islamic terrorist members of Al-Qaeda killed over 3,000 people and caused billions in dollars of economic damage. Is that clear? I was attacked. Your relatives and friends were attacked. Our constitutional freedoms were attacked. And our nation's founding on Judeo-Christian principles were attacked. That's what some people did. Got that now? We are here today, Congresswoman, to tell you and the squad just who did what to whom. Show respect in honoring them, please. American patriotism in your position.
Let's begin with the statement that sparked fierce backlash. During a speech, Ilhan Omar referred to the September 11th attacks with the phrase, "some people did something," a description that drew widespread criticism. Miller responded forcefully on the House floor, putting the events of that day into stark perspective. On September 11th, 2001, 19 al-Qaeda terrorists carried out coordinated attacks that killed more than 3,000 people. They targeted innocent Americans, families, friends, and civilians, and attacked the security and freedoms Americans had long taken for granted. That was not simply "some people did something." It was a devastating terrorist attack that changed the nation forever.
Is anyone surprised that I am being targeted? Is anyone surprised that I am somehow deemed unworthy to speak about American foreign policy? Or that they see me as a powerful voice that needs to be silenced? Frankly, it is expected, because when you push power, power pushes back. I didn't come to Congress to be silent. I came to Congress to be their voice. And my leadership and voice will not be diminished if I am not on this committee for one term. My voice will get louder and stronger, and my leadership will be celebrated around the world as it has been. So take your vote or not. I am here to stay.
Today's resolution, as it relates to Representative Omar, details 6 statements she made as a sitting member of Congress that, under the totality of the circumstances, disqualify her from serving on the Committee on Foreign Affairs.
Some people did something, said a freshman congresswoman from Minnesota, to support and justify the creation of CARE. Today I am here to respond to you exactly who did what to whom. Madam, objectively speaking, we know who and what was done. There is no uncertainty about that. Why your confusion? On that day, 19 Islamic terrorist members of Al-Qaeda killed over 3,000 people and caused billions in dollars of economic damage. Is that clear? But as to whom? I was attacked. Your relatives and friends were attacked. Our constitutional freedoms were attacked. And our nation's founding on Judeo-Christian principles were attacked. That's what some people did. Got that now? We are here today, Congresswoman, to tell you and the squad just who did what to whom. Show respect in honoring them, please. American patriotism in your position demand it. For God and country, amen.
Members of the Committee on Foreign Affairs represent the United States abroad and are regarded as credible emissaries of American foreign policy. Their words have significant weight in guiding our relations with other countries and are relied upon by world leaders. Most importantly, our allies such as Israel, the forever home of the Jewish people. But what happens when a committee member is no longer viewed as a credible emissary of our foreign policy? What if a member is barred from visiting one of our allies because of their prejudiced comments? How can members who are unable to engage with our allies in a constructive manner be considered credible members of the committee? Well, the gentlelady's discriminatory comments disqualified her from traveling to Israel in 2019. Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, would not allow Representative Omar to enter, saying, "We respect all political parties in the United States equally. However, we will also respect ourselves. Whoever comes to impose boycotts on us and to deny the legitimacy of the State of Israel, we will not allow them entry." Yes, the gentle lady disqualified herself from entry into one of the most important countries allied with the United States. Over the past 75 years, Israel has been a steadfast ally of the United States. Israel has stood by us through the volatility in the Middle East, and this alliance has been critical to our own national security. How can someone not welcomed by one of our most important allies serve as an emissary of American foreign policy on the Foreign Affairs Committee? And given her biased comments against Israel and against the Jewish people, how can she serve as an objective decision maker on the committee? Let's take a look at some of the gentlelady's comments. In February of 2019, barely more than a month after becoming a member of this body, Representative Omar suggested that the Jewish people and the American Israel Public Affairs Committee were buying political support, writing on Twitter, "It's all about the Benjamins, baby," clearly amplifying an anti-Semitic stereotype about the Jewish people and money. In response, congressional Democratic leadership, her own party, immediately released a statement by saying, "Anti-Semitism must be called out, confronted, and condemned wherever it is encountered." With
more than 3,000 people were killed, leaving families devastated, while first responders later suffered and died from illnesses linked to their work at Ground Zero. Critics argued that Omar's description of the attacks was deeply disrespectful to the victims and their families. And the controversy did not end there. Miller then highlighted several of Omar's past statements that had drawn accusations of anti-Semitism. Early in her congressional career, she posted the phrase, "It's all about the Benjamins, baby," in a discussion about political influence and support for Israel. The remark triggered bipartisan condemnation, including criticism from Democratic leaders who said anti-Semitism should be confronted and condemned. Miller used those examples to raise a broader question about Omar's role on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. The committee deals with American diplomacy, international relationships, and issues tied directly to national security. The debate became even more heated when Miller pointed to Omar's controversial relationship with Israel. In 2019, Israel barred Omar and Representative Rashida Tlaib from entering the country amid a dispute over their support for the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement. Israeli officials defended the decision by citing their opposition to the lawmakers' political positions. Miller's argument was straightforward. If a member of Congress has repeatedly made controversial statements about America, Israel, and other U.S. allies, should that lawmaker be trusted with a prominent role in shaping foreign policy? He argued that the standard should apply equally to Republicans and Democrats. No elected official, he said, should receive a free pass when their rhetoric crosses a line. That was the central message of Miller's confrontation. Accountability should not depend on party affiliation. If lawmakers want the responsibility of representing the United States on the world stage, their words and actions should be subjected to serious scrutiny. Omar has defended her statements and argued that criticism of her should not be confused with attacks on her identity or political beliefs. But Miller made it clear that, in his view, the controversy was about conduct, statements, and the responsibilities that come with public office. The clash put the larger question front and center. What standards should members of Congress be held to when representing the United States abroad? If you think elected officials should be held accountable regardless of party, let us know your opinion in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe for more coverage of the biggest congressional confrontations.